Hi guys, I'm 315, and I'm here with Cali Summers. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. All my videos, I'm like, I hope I get pronunciation right. I do. You see so many like names, but yeah. So we're here with Cali Summers. You go hip hop or rap artists? What do you tend to go by? Or a bit both?
Yeah, a little bit of both,
A little bit
pretty
both.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. Would you be able to give everyone a bit of background about yourself, who you are, and how you got into music?
What's up, everybody? I'm Cali Summers from Southern California, Los Angeles. I've been into music all my life. Growing up, hearing my relatives play like the radio and pretty much my culture, they into dancing a lot. So we usually dance to music while cleaning though. Not like a dance, let's have fun. It's like, hey, you got to do your chores. And we dance to doing our
So
chores
music on like all the time while you're doing stuff like around the
all
house or
all the time. Right. So music is just a part of me. That's how I got into music pretty much.
Hmm. Was there anyone in your family that maybe played music or wrote and recorded music like around you or friends kind of got you into
Um,
things?
I would say my grandfather and my uncles. So my grandfather, his sons, they all were bass players. So they all played the bass. Like, so I know about Fender basses and Ibanez basses to say the least. I don't want to
Hmm.
sound all smart, but those are the basses that I grew up with. So
Right. So did you learn bass growing up, or was it just you surrounded by that kind of sound?
to be honest, I tried to learn bass growing up. Yeah, I tried to learn bass. Bass is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I started on guitar, but then like transferring to bass was easy from that. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hearing some of your stuff, you feel. I mean, it features a lot heavily in rap and hip hop anyway, but bass it seems to feature quite heavily in kind of your production sound, like a nice sort of big bass. But I'd say almost kind of calm as well. It's not like an overpowering bass. Um, so that's what I've got from the few tracks I've heard. I've had a listen to some. What's it called? Is your latest album? You've had the latest album release is a drill.
It's a
Oh,
drill. Okay.
is a
Yeah,
drill.
that's way
Yeah.
different.
So I was listening to
Hardcore.
that this morning, and the sort of the way your production is it sits very nicely. Now, background in terms of yourself, you getting into the YouTube side of things, and I'll link down below your YouTube as well. It's worth checking out because you're going heavy with the YouTube stuff at the moment. Just released, I think 69 minutes ago, it said one about how you became a producer and what got you into it. And it says you first started. You said you first started on like a laptop that had like no keys, nothing on
Yeah.
it. Um, and you're probably like recording through some really bad microphone or something. But
Through the
yeah,
webcam, actually. Through the
you're
webcam.
recording audio through your webcam. That's fantastic.
Holding a laptop like this, recording, man.
Hey, when you first start, it's however you do it. I can remember like I used to record with my brother and my cousin, and we were just all gathered around like the laptop microphone trying to like record
Yeah.
something. So, but it's how you get into it though, isn't it? You don't start by getting all the big stuff. And then you moved on
Right.
to other things like Audacity and then Fruit Loops. And then weirdly for me, you went Pro Tools, which is like that's like the top one. And then you
Yeah.
kind of went to Logic Pro. Now Logic Pro is my favorite. That's how I work. But like you went to Pro Tools first and then to Logic Pro. can you explain that? What made you choose that?
I mean, okay, so I can explain it. I love Logic. I'm Team Logic forever. But shout out to Pro Tools. Really the layout. I was always taught like go with what you're comfortable with. Cause I used to always hear of Pro Tools like the industry standard. So I used to feel some type of way recording on Fruity Loops or Audacity. I felt like, wow, what am I doing? But it's all about what you're comfortable with. So Pro Tools, I switched from Logic because Pro Tools crashed my computer, my CPU a lot. Playback
Well, you
engine.
weren't worthy for it.
Nah,
No.
I didn't have no good computer. I didn't really know much about it. And then when I got to Logic, Logic came with the Apple. So I bought Logic from the App Store and
Right.
everything just worked perfect. So I'm like, whoa, I used to crack plugins. I don't condone this, but I used to crack every plugin before I got to this point.
Wow. I mean, if you're at a point where you're not doing crap plugins in this industry, that's I mean, that happens all over, doesn't it? So you're at a point where
All
that's
over.
not happening. That's pretty cool. Um, so I kind of wanted to talk about backgrounds to maybe albums or music there, but there's one song I think I get the impression you seem to push most out of all your songs, and that's Pacific Coast Highway.
Yeah.
And that's one that I've done a reaction to, which I'll link down below as well. Um, why that song in particular? That was released about 2019, if I'm right.
2019,
But it
yes.
seems to have done very well. What do you think about it has done well, and why is it? Why do you keep like pushing it, maybe? And
Pacific Coast Highway, one of those songs where if you ever took a vacation to California, you will want to play this. And so you have Southern California, Northern California, but it all connects. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
Pacific Coast Highway, it's the beach, it's a highway, it's like real monumental. Everybody go there. It connects Malibu,
yeah,
a whole bunch of beaches along the coast. So I pretty much made that record with the intentions of doing something for my hometown.
yeah,
And I had no idea it was gonna have the effect that it had. So when I released it in 2019, I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm hearing of promotion, marketing, and I don't have really the money for that type of stuff at that moment. So it's like, yo, I don't understand. So I really like as I'm doing on YouTube now, I really changed my mindset and I was like, there has to be a way. So I start pushing Pacific Coast Highway on Instagram and I was using my credit card, advertising and running a few sponsors. Then I was also going to my Spotify, being analytical because I heard you have to be analytical. So I'm like, if I don't
yeah.
have that much money, I can still do something with the money that I do have. So, but I have to be analytical. So, get into the analytics, songs start taking off like from the sponsorship ads. Like people was just tagging me and like sending me videos, and it was going
That's
viral in Germany and the
it's amazing.
UK. And that's just how the story went as far as Pacific Coast Highway. And I push it because everybody love it. That's what they gravitated towards. So
Oh, that's great. I think in terms of like tips for, I started this YouTube to kind of help like independent artists have tips for how they can promote themselves. And it can kind of seem like going for like getting your card out and paying for the advertising seems like the wrong thing to do. But in today's world, that's how you can kind of get just out there slightly. You were saying like it got you into other parts of the world. You're saying Germany, the UK really liked it. Myself listening to it, I don't know, I felt connection with that song. Like the album artwork coupled with the what you were talking about, the lyrics, the really relaxed beat. I could just imagine myself driving down that highway. I think it all just worked. It just came together on that. It's a really nice song. Um,
thank you.
if I mean, you've got some other lovely songs as well. You've recently released last month, "Have It All" on
Yeah.
August 12th, wasn't it? So go and check that out as well. He's obviously put a lot. You put a lot, haven't you, into Pacific Coast Highway in terms of trying to get yourself there and out there. But now that you've done that, you've kind of probably got a bit of a following where you can release something and maybe not have to worry as much about pushing. Uh, but maybe you still are. I don't. Are you still doing that with your releases?
With these releases right now, so since like as an independent artist, I'm pushing very independently. So I want
Mm,
to just like all of these songs that we can look at it as a marketing and promotion tool for Pacific Coast Highway,
right.
you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
because just working with music, it's like I can't even calculate it. Like I didn't even know what was gonna work. Like stuff I thought was my best wasn't. And it's like how this song got to this point, it's like, wow, I couldn't even imagine. And I used to feel conflicted. Like, do I stop and just focus on this? What do I do? Because I want to continue to create and not be stuck with one song. And it's like people kept tell me, like, well, these artists, they had this song for 5 years before they put it out. And I'm like, what? That's the real game. Like,
wait
it's a
waiting
lot
for
of
the
old
moment,
tracks.
like
Wait for the moment,
wait for the
right?
gap. Wait, yeah, that can be so tricky because I know as soon as I've made something, I kind of want to show everyone. um it can be so hard to hold on to something. um
Right.
do you feel the game is more single song based more than like EP or album now? Has it changed to like instead of people listening to whole albums, do you feel like just releasing a single financially is more beneficial and for your fans more it has more impact?
I would say both. I would say, you know how you had the saying quality versus quantity, right?
Yeah.
I would say get that itch off and release as much as you can, but like I say split it between platforms. So if you're not going to put money behind it, all right, just work with a SoundCloud just for your pleasure of getting something out. Then when you
Mm.
have a few marketing dollars or whatever, go to Spotify, so that way you won't have all your eggs just stuck in one basket,
Yeah. So
so
you're saying have a few areas, pockets that you're working in, not just one thing. Yeah.
not just
That
one.
that's the music industry, but you have to spread yourself far, don't you?
Yeah.
Because there might be people that are only on TikTok. They spend
Yeah,
all their time on
literally.
TikTok, or someone
Literally.
who's only on YouTube. And there could be someone who's on YouTube who's never on TikTok, and you want to
Right.
get them. You got to spread yourself far. It's funny. This interview's become more like how can you promote yourself in a digital like era, which is it's really interesting. Um, if you could like describe yourself in terms of what would make people interested in you? What about your music is unique that if you were trying to convince someone, maybe you're at the bar or in the UK down at the pub, trying to convince someone to listen to your music, what about it is unique that someone would go home and just put in their headphones and listen to it?
I would consider my music to be more of a feeling and more of I say you have to get to know me to actually enjoy the music further, because I learned that just because somebody liked the song doesn't mean that they would necessarily like you. So if I pitch myself, they might not like my presentation, but they might like the song. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just best for me to just 100%. I would let people know that I'm authentic. I mix and master my own music. I, all my lyrics are clean. Like I barely curse. If anything, I have like over 50 songs, like no curse. Like if you really like just listen, you'd be like, wow, I didn't hear a curse. So I can make good songs without using any profanity. So
Right. Is that a
yeah.
deliberate choice? Do you like not like using profanity, or do you feel like you want to appeal to more people, so you deliberately choose to not curse?
I choose to not, because
Right.
yeah, I growing up, I heard my grandmother and they said, "Oh, we don't want to listen to stuff with that profanity," and it made me feel some type of way. But as I start growing as a person, I'm like, I wouldn't want to listen to just wild profanity from like somebody younger than me that I care about in my family. I would want the lyrics to be clean. So,
Mm.
you know, I
Yeah, I
never
mean,
change.
it depends. It can be a balance. Like I feel like if you feel in the moment in that song, that curse word is needed right there for the impact. It has a purpose. Whereas, like I say, I've listened to stuff, I've reacted to stuff where it's just like every other word is one, and you feel instead of like listening to the content, or you just listen to someone rambling off of like these are all the swear words I know. So yeah, that's quite nice. You can appeal to a wider range in that sense, and consciously you're thinking of that. That leads me into the next question quite well. What's your creative process like? Do you start with a beat, with a melody in your head? Do you put something down on an instrument? Do you just try out lots of different things and see what sticks? How do you start?
Um, I remember going back to previously, you was like, you just it's hard to like keep stuff in, like especially the music. So it's like I feel like I have like ADHD with creating, because I'm not creating for like no purpose of actually getting famous in that sense. Like I'm literally creating because I have certain problems and obstacles I gotta overcome in life. So it's just like all the content you see is just like me getting it out. You know what I mean? Because
Mm,
as artists, we can't market and promote 100 songs as artists. So, but you can put 100 songs out, still enjoy them, and market one or promote one or two or
yeah,
three.
yeah.
Very minimal. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. So my creative process, um, it's just I could create all day, every day. Like I don't believe in, oh, I need a break or nothing, because I'm not wrapped up into the music world, you know. Like I do other things to get inspiration. I might watch a video game on Twitch or something and might be like, oh, I need to start creating. So other people's highlights and moments, I know how to capture that and translate it into music so it never
Wow.
get old.
So
Yeah.
and you kind of just like on the go all the time for making music, then in a way. Is it always rap or hip hop that will come out, or sometimes are you just like making like, I don't know, Irish folk music just randomly coming out?
Wow. That's definitely gonna happen one day, I'm sure, with all of the randomness. Um,
What I'm wondering is like, do you have a lot of unfinished projects you get so far, and you're like, I've done next thing, and sometimes then something goes far, or do you complete everything that you start?
oh, for sure, I don't complete everything I start.
Yeah.
Some I don't know, I like we all go through a lot of things, so I just really put what I go through the music like 24/7. Like if you know me personally, you might listen to a song and feel some type of way because your situation might be in the song. Like I'm very, because I didn't have a voice, because people don't want to listen to you direct. They rather listen to a song or watch a video than listen to you direct. So I'm like,
Mm.
let me just put it in the music then.
Yeah, no,
So
that sounds good. It sounds so that's kind of your feeling at the time. Everything that you've kind of made, that's what you were thinking and feeling at the time.
at that
Um,
time,
it's a really nice way to work, and I think you're quite blessed in the fact that you've got a tap that doesn't really switch off. Um, I had a year, I think it was 2020. I think I've made like 4 albums that year, and then this year I've kind of gone. I haven't really touched any instruments, or like I've started projects and just like 10 minutes in, it's not working for me. So I think you're quite blessed in that sense that you can just keep going, which is nice.
mm,
Because it means that the next day, tomorrow could be the day where you make your next like best hit. You which is great.
right?
Whereas like tomorrow could be my day, but I might have missed it because I'd be like, nah, can't be bothered. Have you ever performed your music?
Yes.
You have, and so when you do your shows, how do you perform them? Do you have other people with you? Are you playing like backing tracks? How does it work?
Yeah. Um, Pretty much I reach out to the promoters and who's ever running a venue, and I try to like pitch my social media or my skills, like try to have a package together, because I understand that like I'm not gonna have all the clout to even be worthy of performing on somebody's stage in a sense of business. You
Mm,
know what I mean?
yeah,
So I try to get real creative. And then as far as performances, I don't have no DJ or nothing. It's just kind of plug and play.
yeah,
So I'm just
that sounds
performing
good.
over the track, at the moment. So
In terms of like hearing a lot of your songs, you kind of go for the auto tune kind of effect, don't you, at times? How's that work live? Do you have something that makes that work, or do you do the mixes, or do you just go without?
well, consciously, I highly believe in singing lessons. So, behind the scenes, take them singing classes, singing lessons. So when that
Mm,
time comes and you have that auto tune track, you at least sound close to it.
yeah. And what I can hear from the auto tune is it's an effect these days. It's not, I can't sing anymore, and a lot of artists use it because that's a style, it's a feeling. um so you can tell, you can kind of tell when someone can't really sing and uses auto tune compared to someone who can sing and uses auto tune. There's a big difference. It's kind of less warbly in a way, and it stays on note. So it's a really nice effect, and it works well with your music as well. um I was going to ask you kind of said it, we've said it quite a lot. How do you feel the internet has impacted your approach to being an artist? You've kind of said a lot of that. Is there anything you feel on the internet has been maybe the most impactful for you?
The internet is all about the people. Don't look at the internet as just your laptop. Don't look at the internet just for yourself. And I'm speaking on Pacific Coast Highway, how that record did. Like,
Right.
I was really engaged with the people. I forced myself. I said, I'm gonna lose every ego, everything I think about myself. I don't care no more. I'm gonna start fresh from zero as if I had nothing. And I start connecting with the people, like listening to people inputs, asking, like I was like, let me just try to act like the artist that I see doing stuff. So I started to do call to action like, hey, choose the next artwork. Not like I'm some big type of dude, but just testing
Yeah.
waters to see what type.
Well, that's nice. I think talking to your fans, it sounds like you do a lot of that connection, of just talking to people online, and like you say, seeing them as people, not just because you can see some artists and they've got people commenting on things and it's dead silence, nothing back from the artist. If you're a big artist, that's fine. But it's when you see the small artists pretending they're big artists, where you think, you know what, these people genuinely care about your music. You gotta connect in some way. So that's
Right.
nice. That was really nice to hear that, and that's refreshing. That they're not just numbers on the screen. They're not just likes. They're not just comments. They're people who've taken the
Yeah.
time to just type something, even if it took them 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a comment. That's that's meaningful. Um, yeah, and
Yup, for
I
sure.
I think that's where I'm seeing a lot of artists, especially maybe older generation artists, are kind of losing their impact. Um, kind of have that expectation that the people will come to you. You've kind of got to push the boat out there. Like you say, don't be willing to spend $5 on something just to get yourself out there. That's important. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. This interview has become like how can you use the internet to better yourself, and you seem like a really good example of that. And I know we've talked a lot about Pacific Coast Highway, but that's not your only project. There's plenty of stuff you've got.
Yeah. Plenty of
Um,
stuff in the works.
yeah, you got stuff in the works as well. That's what I was going to ask next. What's next for you? Another single, EP, album?
Um, Pretty much I thought about releasing a project about like 7 tracks maybe this week or next week, but I decided not to. So sorry everybody, I can't release it right now.
Well, why did you decide not to? Was there something you want to hold on to?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good though. That sounds good. I'm seeing a lot of this now, like EPs, albums of about 7, 8 tracks, not long-winded stuff anymore. Um, and I think it's people trying to get that balance between releasing just a single or a whole album, and whether it's worth it. And like I was just walking into town today, and I was listening to your latest album. I keep want to call it "It's a Trap," like from
It's a drill.
start. It's a drill. It's a trap. Uh, and I'd finished it by the time I got into town. People, if they're going anywhere, it's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes here or there. You don't want that fatigue of a whole maybe hour of listening to something. So that's a good balance there. So you're holding on to something. You don't want to tell anyone what it is yet, but there's stuff coming.
Yeah, that stuff
Okay.
coming for sure.
I think that'll do. Is there anything you want to plug at the moment? Anything you want to add before we wrap up?
Yes, I want to add, I have a message for everybody because I'm 100% independent and this is the lane that I plan on taking. But please use the internet as a tool to help your real life, to help your reality. I understand we all get caught up in the world and everything is special to us because we have to invest into these things. So we have a right to feel that way. But everybody, don't look at nobody as a number. Look at everybody as a connection. Everybody wants to travel the world. Everybody wants to make music. Use the internet as that tool to bridge the gap. We making life hard for us right now because everybody's on the internet, but nobody wants to work. And it's because the freedom we got. We all get to buy equipment. We all get to invest. It's so accessible. So as you saying with the older artists, they losing that connection with the people. You know what I mean? And 7 and 8 songs is that short because it's like our reality is we have TikTok, so we are all like in front of the screen 7, 8 seconds. So
Yeah,
seven,
a
eight songs.
second a lot of the
You know
time,
what I
isn't it?
mean?
Yeah.
A lot of that. So that'll be my message to people, and use what you got. Don't feel like you need $1,000 microphone, whatever the case it may be. I wrote Pacific Coast Highway at my house, like just found the beat on YouTube, contacted the producer. I just went outside myself. So everybody got to get outside yourself. If I never took that card and invested into Pacific Coast Highway, that amount of money, I wouldn't be here today doing an interview. So you know what I mean? This is
There you
important to do.
go. And I think if there's anything I could add to that message is make the effort to talk to people on the internet. Like you said, use it as a tool. But talking to the independent artists that watch this show and are watching this now, something just came up there. Yeah, make the effort to talk to people. That's so important. And what I saw was artists posting their music on like Reddit, TikTok, whatever, but no one was listening to it. No one was responding to it. And all these artists going, listen to this, and no one was listening. And I was like, you know what? No, we're not making the effort to listen to you because you're not making the effort to listen to us. And that's why I started this. I was like, I've got to do something about it. I've got to try and push some people. You know what? And then maybe they'll listen to my music. You got to make connections. That's important. So there's a lesson to be learned from this: is make connections on the internet, definitely. So thank you, Cali, for coming on. That was really
Thank
insightful.
you for having me.
I've learned a lot. I hope other people have as well. So yeah, take care and goodbye, I guess.